You were not an accident. You were a decision. Sit with that before reading anything else. Sit with the shape of those words and notice what happens in your chest when you stop fighting them. There is a part of you that has spent years asking why. Why me? Why this assignment? Why this body, this family, this history? Music. This particular weight that keeps pressing down on the part of you that just wants to live a quiet life. And every time the question came up, you answered it with the smallest version of yourself you could find. You said it must be a mistake. You said someone else would have done it better. You said you must have wandered into a calling that was never meant for you. You have been auditing your own existence for so long that you forgot existence was not something you have to qualify for. You were a decision, not a guess, not a draft, not a placeholder, while the real one was being prepared somewhere else. You were chosen with the same music care that a master builder uses when selecting the keystone of an arch. The one stone the entire structure rests on, the one that cannot be swapped out, the one that was cut for that specific weight in that specific space. Music, you are that stone. You have been that stone since before the first breath. And your life has felt heavier than other lives, not because something is wrong with you. It is because something is right with you. Wait, here is the calling. Calling, here is the proof. Hear that? Wait is the proof. A kind of quiet happens when a soul finally hears the truth about itself. It is not loud. It does not arrive with thunder. It settles like dust settles after a long wind, finding the corners of every room you forgot to clean. Let it settle now. Let questioning stop for the length of these words. You have been asking why for so long that you do not know how to receive the answer. So, receive nothing. Just listen. Unworthiness has been the architecture of your inner life for too long. An illusion that needs dismantling stone by stone, so music, that something real can be built on the foundation that was always underneath. First, understand that the voice telling you that you are not enough is not your voice. It never was. It came from somewhere else, and you have been hosting it for so long that you confused it with your own thinking. That voice operates in a way so familiar to you, it sounds like reason. It sounds like humility. It sounds like being realistic about who you are, but realism does not feel like that. Truth does not feel like that. Auditing your worthiness, that voice, sounds reasonable because it has rehearsed inside you for years. It knows your soft places. It knows where to apply pressure. Listen to how it speaks. It says things like, "Who do you think you are?" It says, "Look at your past." It says, "Look at your failures. Look at your weaknesses. Look at the people who walked away from you. Look at the projects you started and could not finish. Look at the years you wasted. Look at the version of yourself you used to be." That voice has built a courtroom inside your chest, and it has been holding there for as long as you can remember. You are the defendant. Prosecuting you is the voice. There is no defense attorney. There is no judge willing to dismiss the case. So, the trial just keeps running day after day, season after season, and the verdict is always the same. That courtroom is closed. Your case is dismissed. You were never the defendant. Music, you were the heir all along. Unworthiness tricks you into believing the question of whether you deserve to be here is a question worth asking. It is not a question worth asking. It was never a question. You did not earn the right to exist, and you cannot lose it. You did not qualify for the calling on your life by being good enough, and you cannot disqualify yourself by being bad enough. This whole framework, music, is wrong. You have been answering a question that was designed to keep you stuck. No answer gets you out because the question itself is the trap. Imposter syndrome is the modern name for an ancient lie. That lie says that you are pretending to be someone you are not. It says that someday someone will figure out you do not belong here. It says that your seat at the table is provisional, that your gift music is borrowed, that your voice is a performance. Every soul that has ever been called to do something meaningful has been hunted by this lie. Moses was hunted by it. Esther was hunted by it. A shepherd boy who would be king was hunted by it. Fishermen who would build a movement were hunted by it. This lie is not new. Telling you that you are an imposter.
The kingdom of God is within you
Script that has been read
and among
to every
you.
chosen vessel in every generation.
Let peace
You are
reign
not
in your
crazy
hearts.
for hearing it. You are simply alive, and the hunts the living. But here is what we don't understand. Lies hunt the called. They don't waste energy on souls who are doing nothing. They save their strongest performance for the souls who are getting close to the assignment. Intensity of the imposter voice in you is not evidence that you are not chosen. It is evidence that you are. That voice would not be working this hard to convince you that you do not belong if you did not belong. Push back on the framing. Ask yourself what kind of soul gets hunted by lies of this magnitude. Then notice that the answer is the kind of soul who is about to do something the darkness does not want done. Most people will use their past mistakes as a disqualifier. They will say, I cannot be the one who carries this message because I have done these things. I have failed in these ways. I have hurt these people. I have collapsed in these seasons. I have not been who I should have been. And the voice will agree with them. It will say, yes, exactly. Music, now sit down. Now be quiet. Now let someone else do it. That voice is very good at agreeing with the worst parts of your self-assessment because that is how it keeps you small. But your past was not given to you as a disqualifier. Your past was given to you as raw material. Every mistake you made is now data. Every season you collapsed in is now a map of where collapse happens for the people you are about to help. Every wound is now a window. Every place you fell is a place you can now stand and say to someone else, I know this ground. I have been here. I know how to walk you through it.
अल्कीमेडिका भोजना दरवदाता है इनकी निडिका बाडी तेलना है वदो की तरह कंजो चैनल का है सोकस तोलुगुना दांडको बड़
do what you are about to do. Nothing was wasted. Nothing. Searching for a logical reason behind your calling is also a trap. You will not find one. No reason in human terms explains why you specifically should be the one chosen for this. Other people are more qualified. Other people are more articulate. Other people are more credentialed. Other people have cleaner histories and warmer personalities and better positioned lives. None of that matters. Selection does not work the way human merit works. Selection happens in a space that does not care about resumes. You were not chosen because you were the most logical option. You were chosen because you were the right one. Those are two different things, and the difference is everything. When you stop trying to find the reason, peace begins. Peace is not the answer to the question. Peace is the dropping of the question. Some questions are dissolved, not answered. Why you instead of someone else is one of those questions. It dissolves the moment you stop demanding an explanation and start accepting an assignment. Your seat is yours. Your work is yours. Any voice that says it should not be is lying. Sit down in the seat. Pick up the work. Notice what your body is doing as you read this. Notice if your shoulders just dropped a quarter inch. Notice if your breathing slowed. That is what truth feels like in a body that has been carrying lies. Your body recognizes truth before the mind does. Your mind is still running through objections, still building arguments for why you should not believe what you just heard, still running the courtroom, but your body already knows. Trust the body for 1 minute. Let the mind catch up later. You were not an accident. The decision was made before there was a sky, a music, and it is still standing. Something else is worth saying about the nature of the imposter voice because that voice is craftier than most souls realize. It does not always present itself as cruelty. Sometimes it presents itself as wisdom. Sometimes it sounds like a voice of caution, telling you not to overstate your role, not to put yourself forward, music not to claim too much. That voice can sound spiritual, can sound humble, can sound like the right thing to listen to. And the soul, wanting to be humble, wanting to be careful, wanting not to be one of those people who overestimate themselves, listens. Listening keeps the soul small. Smallness keeps the work undone. Real humility does not look like the voice of the imposter. Real humility looks like a soul that knows what it is for and gets on with it. Real humility is not constant interrogation of one's own worthiness. That is anxiety dressed up in spiritual clothing. Real humility is willingness to do the work without making the work about you. A soul running a constant courtroom about its own worth is not humble. It is self-absorbed. Constant self-examination is a kind of inverted pride. Pride that takes the form of unworthiness rather than the form of arrogance, but pride nonetheless, because both forms make the self the center of the conversation. Step out of the conversation about yourself. Get on with the work. Your work is not about you. Your work is about what you were given to carry. Here is what most people miss about the inner voice that audits worthiness. Music. It does not actually want answers. If it wanted answers, what you have given over the years would have been enough. You have answered the worthiness question thousands of times. You have made cases for yourself. You have made cases against yourself. You have weighed evidence. You have presented testimony. None of it has stopped the trial because that voice is not running a trial that wants to reach a verdict. It is running a trial designed never to end. Trial itself is the point. That voice does not want to free you. It wants to keep you in the courtroom. Recognizing this changes everything. Music, you stop trying to win the case. You stop trying to make the better argument. You walk out of the courtroom because that trial was never going to end on its own merits. Music, it was designed to keep running. Walking out is the only exit. A phrase has been